Hey everybody, how are you doing today? I hope you're having a fantastic week. I hope you've done a lot of thinking on building confidence in your own kids and how you can be their biggest model of that. Today we're going to continue talking about building confidence in our kids. And really it comes down to three big things you can do to help build confidence in your kids. And the first one was what we talked about the other day, and that's modeling it yourself. So you have to work on that confidence in yourself and model it for them and how you talk about yourself and all of that kind of stuff so that your kids can see and then they take on those same things in how they refer to themselves and treat themselves, etc. Today, we're going to talk about two more, and they kind of go hand in hand. One is giving them experiences. We've talked about before how giving ourselves different experiences and learning and things like that help build confidence in us. It's the same for your kids. And the second, along with that, is helping them to see what they've accomplished. So let's talk about the first for a second. Helping your kids have experiences. As soon as we hear that phrase, we think, oh my gosh, this is going to cost money. And we don't always have that, right? So we sit here and feel like, oh, I'm not going to be able to afford to give my kid experiences. I'm never going to be able to afford to raise them properly. They're never going to get to experience things and try things out. And I'm such a bad parent. And there you go, beating yourself up. Put a stop on that. There's plenty of things we can give our kids experience in without having to pay almost anything. So let's just brainstorm for a minute. Yes, there's the thing like let's try sports or dance or martial arts, or how many things can we think of that would just be fun classes to try, right? And if you have YMCA near or around, it costs hardly anything to try those things. But maybe you don't even have that money. Well, maybe you have a friend, they can try swimming, or maybe there's a field nearby or a park. You could just go and play soccer or basketball or baseball with them. Find a few friends and just have an experience like that. A one-time, let's play a game kind of thing. It doesn't have to be, let's get them involved in sports and get them trained, and who knows, maybe they'll love it and be great at it, and etc. Down the line we go, right? Whoa. No, let's just play a game with them. Let's find them a group of friends and, find them a bat and ball or a ball and a hoop or whatever it is, and let's go play a game. That might be enough for them to be like, this is terrible. I hate this. I don't ever want to do this. Well, there you go, mom and dad. Now you don't have to worry about finding money for that. Or maybe they'll say, oh my gosh, this is the funnest game ever. And then you'll know where you want to put your money or what you want to strive to help them accomplish, right? Same with dance, same with, martial arts. You could find someone, a lot of martial arts places will let them take 1 to 3 classes for free so they can try it out. Go do that, And if you can't afford to continue it, it's okay. They got the experience, and that is what you're focusing on. Focus on just having the experience. It doesn't have to be a long-term commitment for them to really get a sense of this is cool. Help them to focus on, well, okay, but we don't have money for that right now. Why don't we focus on more experiences? There's also, my husband and I, for a long time, didn't have the income to put our kids into experiences, classes, long-term things like that. But we realized there was a lot of things that we had interest in that we could teach them and help them have an experience in. I love doing all kinds of arts and crafts. We're going to experiment. Let's try out sewing. Let's try out scrapbooking. Let's try out drawing. Let's try out painting. Turns out one of my kids absolutely loves drawing. She picked that one up on her own and took off with it more than I ever did. I'm pretty sure by third grade, she drew better than I currently do. And I've had several art classes. Anyways, but, and then there were our parents. My mother-in-law loves cooking. She does great at it. So we had them go cook with her many times. I love baking. My kids bake with me. My husband loves to build with electronics. So he's had them help him with some of those kinds of things. He loves working with chickens. So they help him with chickens. My mother loves sewing. So I had them do sewing classes with her. Different things like that. Who around you loves doing things that they can go do it once or twice with your kids, right? My kids have loved experiencing things with their aunts and their uncles and their grandparents and their older cousins. And, it's just been a blast. And so we haven't been able to afford a ton of let's dump thousands of dollars into a sports season or this or that class. But my kids have had a ton of experiences. My second daughter is loving high school right now because she's just gotten into the role of let's try things out. And so she's trying track and she's trying color guard and winter guard, and she's trying theater, and she really enjoys those things. So she's kept up with some of them, and she's just all about trying. So that's really fun. And our youngest is coming up now, and so we look forward to all the different things we can help her experience. So that's one thing. Take your mind off of what you can afford and start just brainstorming who you have around your kids that can help let them participate in something they enjoy doing. Then, as they're enjoying things, the third thing you can really do to help build your kids' confidence is help them to see what they accomplished in the things they're trying. And on top of that, or rather together with that, is helping them to process what they thought, whether they liked or disliked the experience they just had. What did you think of playing that soccer game? Oh, I didn't understand it at all. Oh, well, maybe we just need to find someone who can explain the rules a little better or help them to learn a basic skill of kicking back and forth. You can just kick the ball back and forth with your kid. You can just throw the ball back and forth. You can just throw it at them and let them smack it with a bat. It doesn't even have to be a game, a full game that you put together, right? But help them to process those things and see if maybe you can find someone who can help out a little bit in the area they were frustrated in, or if they really loved it, maybe you can find someone who can take them a little bit further in the activity they loved, right? But help them to see that. And if they sit there and go, oh my gosh, I didn't understand a thing. I was so terrible at it. This was a terrible, horrible thing. I don't want to ever do this again. Help them to see, well, yeah, but you know what? You kicked that ball really well towards this other kid, or you drew this really well. You saw really great perspective on that, or I loved the colors you used, or if you're cooking, I really liked this flavor, but maybe we could change something and make it taste better with this flavor, or, whatever it is, help them to process what they did well and help them to feel okay that maybe they didn't do some of it great. Well, who cares? You're learning. Let's try this. And, the one thing we did always have as a rule is you had to try it more than once. Because the first time you try something is probably going to be terrible or feel superbly awkward or leave you with that sense of, I didn't have a clue what was going on, or I didn't have a clue what I was doing, right? So, but if you help them process what they did well, and it's okay what you didn't do well, let's try again this way. There's a lot of building self-confidence that happens in those things. And really, that's how kids are going to have their easiest way of finding what they like and what they want to try and where they want to head. So I hope these were helpful tips. If you got something really helpful out of this, go ahead and like this video, share it with a fellow parent, and comment below what your big takeaway was. I'd love to hear those. And of course, subscribe so that you don't miss a beat on more of these kinds of tips. I hope you have an amazing day.